mo man ang mundo, kanyang yaman. Maging palasyo man ang iyong tahanan, magamit mo man ang lahat ng bagay sa sanlibutan. Lahat ng yan ay walang kabuluhan.
Isang mapagpalang umaga po at maligayang araw na kalayaan sa ating lahat. Sa pagdiriwang ng 125 taong anibersaryo ng ating kalayaan na unihayag noong 12 ng Hunyo, araw ng Martes, taong 1898, sa bayan ng Cavite, ang unang selebrasyon at pagwagayway ng ating pambansang Batawan bilang simbolo ng kalayaan ng ating pinakamamahal na bansang Pilipinas. At ginanap sa tahanan ni General Emilio L. Aguinaldo na siya rin po ang ating unang Pangulo. Nais ko pong ibahagi sa inyo ang kasaysayang pinamagatang History Revisited. Certain names have loomed large in history of the Philippines over the past 112 years. Without being unjust to those who made a meaningful contribution to the independence and autonomy of the Philippines, it can be fairly claimed that the names which have attracted the most public attraction are those of Jose Rizal, President Ferdinand Emmanuel Henry Marcos, Tomoyuki Yamashita, and perhaps Don Esteban Benito Tallano. Everyone has their own talk of the good work of Rizal in terms of his patriotic writing, of Ferdinand E. Marcos and martial law, of Tomoyuki Yamashita and his varied vision, and of course, the Tallano clan and their claim as true title holders of the original Spanish land title known as OCT number T01-4. The writer of this article that those four names are universal conversation pieces in the Philippines, and few evenings but that one or another is not mentioned in conversation with friends and associates. One would imagine that with such names being universal conversation pieces, that nothing in their life has been spared intense scrutiny, and that there is nothing yet to be revealed about their respective lives. If there is nothing yet to be revealed about their lives, then please explain, among other mysteries, A. Where one would find the grave of Rizal, and B. Why are there no Japanese visitors to the shrine for Tomoyuki Yamashita? In following pages, we try to revisit published history with a view to bringing a clear understanding of this role that each played in the mysterious forces which acted to promote the Philippines we know today. Of course, we shall need a starting point. And because it bears relevance to what we investigate, we choose as our starting point the birth of the Queen Victoria of England on 24 of May, 1890. Now, the published story of Queen Victoria's birth at Kensington Palace was not entirely accurate, even though she did reach Kensington Palace on the same day as her birth. In fact, she arrived in this life somewhat earlier than expected, while her mother, Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg Saalfeld, was aboard a Dutch ship in the English Channel near Dover as she sped to meet up with her husband at Kensington Palace for the expected birth. The variation between published fact and reality was simply to preserve the concept of born on English soil. On behalf of a woman destined to become the future Queen of England. Again, what is not published, but is widely known within the establishment of England, is that Queen Victoria was one of twins had a brother. That boy was in all probability autistic, a condition little understood at the material time. And that courtiers decided that he was unsuitable to be raised in presence of the court. And while every facility possible was placed at his disposal, he was kept separated from the court and educated privately. Bonds of the North Borneo Company note the Lion of Scotland and the name MacLeod. In his late 20s, the young man brother of the Queen moved to Borneo, then known as the Dutch East Indies, and became entranced with the life. Adventure and business opportunity offered by the country, in conjunction with Baron von Overbeck, he formed and became chairman of the North Borneo Company, which engaged in exploitation of the natural resources of that country. His name, he was known as Prince Julian MacLeod Italiano. Being of princely bearing, well-educated and fairly wealthy, he was introduced to a number of eligible women and eventually became enamored of and married the Princess Tahata. Mark now that North Borneo was Muslim territory, and in taking his Muslim wife, Prince Julian MacLeod Italiano converted to the Islamic faith, thus fusing the religious affiliations of both his motherland and Borneo, as he was a prince of the royal blood. Likewise, that marriage interwoven the fortunes of the two distinct clans of differing faiths. Italiano, as a Muslim, acquired 7 wives, but still maintained the libertine pursuits of his early life. His pursuits of another princess and their liaison beyond marriage produced a male child, with connivance of the Catholic Church. A means was found to provide for welfare of the child. Today, one hears many stories of the orphan found in a basket outside the home of the Mercado family in Calamba. In Calamba, Laguna province, about 50 kilometers south of Manila. The boy was raised by the Mercado family and given the name Jose Protasio Mercado. The child grew and proved to be extremely intelligent. He was incredibly active and wanted to be the best at he undertook. He referred to himself as Rex Al, the king of all, which name soon became adopted to Rizal, and so we have Jose Protasio Rizal. the child had been well provided for in terms of money, and while it was unusual for the times, he went to Madrid to study, since he was proficient in Spanish language. Spain caused him to reflect on the number of blind persons in the population, and he determined to become a doctor with a specialty in the eyes. He chose to study under a particular professor and went to Paris to join the classes of that professor, but found that the professor had moved to a university in Heidelberg, Germany. He followed to Germany, mastered the German language, and eventually took his medical degree in 1886. As a doctor, he now saw patients. There was resistance to eye surgery because few chose to allow anyone to operate on their eyes. But one young student at Heidelberg University was desperate to have her eyes corrected. And so that student, Josephine von Bracken, became the first patient of Jose Rizal. The operation was a success, and Josephine Bracken very quickly introduced her uncle, the King of Prussia, Wilhelm I, favorite grandson of Queen Victoria, the German Emperor at Potsdam near Berlin, who had similar eye problems. Again, the operation was a success, and the fame of Jose Rizal as an ophthalmologist was assured. The Emperor of Germany, grateful for the work of Rizal, dedicated the ancient tea house in his honor, which tea house is now a popular tourist attraction in the castle of Sanssouci. The Emperor further recommended Rizal to his relative, the Emperor of Austria. Rizal arrived in Austria in 1887 and was introduced to a Jesuit priest, Father Ferdinand Blumentritt, who had recently arrived from the Philippines, where he conducted a Jesuit school on the islands of Cebu. Since it was considered that the Emperor may take some time to consent to the intended operation, Father Blumentritt invited Rizal to stay in his apartment. In another apartment was a young lady, Clara Polsil, who was a staff member of the Emperor's household. Alliance between Jose Rizal and Clara Polsil, who was the wife of Alois Schicklgruber, produced a male child later named Adolf. The husband, Alois Schicklgruber, suspected that another man was responsible for the pregnancy of his wife, and he severely mistreated the child. Blumentritt decided that to avoid further mistreatment of the child, he should take the boy to Cebu. And the mother readily agreed, because she knew that Rizal would be there. And so Adolf Schicklgruber, as the boy had been named, came to the island of Cebu in the Philippines, where he was raised and educated. Yes, it is the same Adolf Schicklgruber who achieved infancy of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was the son of Jose Rizal via Clara Polsil. If you ever have the opportunity to visit the library at Malacanang, note as you enter the huge portrait of Jose Rizal. then turn 130 degrees to see a smaller portrait of Adolf Hitler starting across the room of his father. It goes without saying that those who planned the financial strategies in Malacanang were comfortably aware of the relation between Rizal and Hitler, and the portraits are testimony to their arcane knowledge. With his fame spreading, Rizal went to Japan to perform an operation on the eyes of the emperor, and once again, an alliance with a Japanese noblewoman, the Princess Keiko, produced a male child. Daltino himself wrote to Rizal and warranted that he would educate this boy in the very best schools. And so the second son of Jose Rizal would attend the finest colleges in England and ultimately become the highest ranking general in the Imperial Japanese Army, General Tomoyuki Yamashita. Meanwhile, the first son of Rizal was the Jesuit school in Cebu, and so his father only at those fleeting times that he has able to make a visit. It is considered that the reported situation of Rizal's exile in Dapitan, being sentenced to death and executed by firing squad in Bagong Bayan, now Rizal Park, Manila, is indeed extraordinary, highly improbable, questionable, and in view of the value of his surgical prowess beyond reason. How could a man known as an idol and hero to Philippines, friend of kings and emperors, highly intelligent and speaking 12 languages, be ordered killed by the much hated friars and shot by 21 Guardia Civil, his countrymen in Manila in 1896. If we look on 100 years to that incident, we should also look to the famous Battle of Manila Bay, beautifully painted and depicted in many written words and monuments, but which never took place. The Spanish ships had surrendered before the cannons of the American ships were unleashed to fight in the air. It is reported that one American died in his cabin of a heart attack. In that context, we pose again a question mentioned in opening paragraphs of this essay. Please point out the location of the grave of Jose Rizal. History records that the Americans who won the war paid $20 million to the Spanish losers of the wars. Quite apart from being a lot of money at the time, it would have to be the first and only time in history that the winners paid a bounty to the losers of the war. To set the record straight, the Americans are claimed to have paid the sum of $20 million to the Spanish. But it can be shown that the sum of $20 million was subscribed by the Magnificent Seven through a mortgage loan from Banco Espanyol Filipino in Binondo. Observe annotation 072-2-6-1898 on the OCT number T01-4, which reads, quote, secured by this title OCT number T01-4, Hacienda Mabiga, embracing the province of Pampanga, Collier, the whole of Bamban and Capac Tarlac, has mortgaged to the Banco Espanyol Filipino the sum of $20 million to undertake the payment of succession treaty between Spain and America for the coding of the archipelago by the Spanish government to the American government. He eventually reverted to the landowner, Don Esteban Benitez Taliano. Date of inscription, February 7, 1898. Signed, Fermin Haldones A. Alvarez, an interim Governor General, Royal Crown of Spain. Inco. That loan by Banco Espanyol Filipino was repaid within 1 year. And a further annotation to the OCT number T01-4 demonstrated the means by which the money was assembled. Code. Entry number EDC 073-S-2-6-1898. Real estate mortgage amounting to $20 million secured by this land title T01-4, embracing the area of Hacienda Mabiga, Pampanga, Colyac and Capas Tarlac to Banco Espanyol Filipino has been cancelled. And this release forever of real estate mortgage has been executed by the bank in favor of the owner with the full payment of said principal loan and an interest of $2,200,000 US. The payment of which was broken as follows. General Miguel Marbar correspondingly acquired the area of Tanawan, Batangas and had paid the amount of $3,300,000 US. Don Serviliano Aquino acquired the whole area of Bamban and Capas Tarlac and correspondingly paid $3,300,000 US. General Antonio Luna acquired the whole San Miguel, Tarlac, and Lapas Tarlac, and he paid $2 million US. The land was given as a gift to his girlfriend, Miss Luisita Cuaco. Don Mariano Tayag acquired the area of Colyac and Mabiga, 1,500 hectares in Pampanga, and paid $3,300,000 US. And Don Francisco Macabolos acquired the area of Santa Ignacia, Tarlac, and paid $2,400,000 US. Don Juan Ejercito acquired absolutely the San Juan del Monte Hacienda, embracing up to Sitio Mandaluyong, consisting an area of 3,154 hectares, and had correspondingly paid $3,300,000 US. And Don Esteban Benitez Taliano Tagian maintained his right, being the owner over the unacquired estates, and has paid the balance of $6,600,000 US. Date of inscription February 7, 1898. Signed, Benito Liganda, an interim land registrar, Inco. In short, historical records demonstrate conclusively that succession from the Spanish was purchased by Don Esteban Benitez Taliano Tagian, and clearly that arrangement had been reached several months prior to the 1st May, 1898. purported date for the Battle of Manila Bay. The only conclusion that can be reached in the light of such evidence is that any Battle of Manila Bay was a stage performance as opposed to an act of war or aggression.
DJ